It is the first weekend in October, and we are on this fast track toward the end of the year and want to get ready for 2026. You do not have to wait until January 1st to put your plan together or start executing on your New Year's resolutions. You can start now and you can get a jump start on things. Let's get a 90-day jump start with our game plan. The game plan, as a reminder, we start with our goal. What's our specific goal? We want these to be smart, specific, measurable, action-oriented, relevant, and time-bound. Specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, time-bound. Make sure you use SMART goals. Let's identify the goal. Here's one of the biggest mistakes that people make over and over again when it comes to the goal piece. They make their goal way too big. The second one that they do is they make it too fluffy. It's ambiguous. It's vague. So don't make it too big and don't make it too vague. Now, it's okay to have big goals. Just be realistic about your success in the past. If you've struggled with goal setting and execution, I would tell you to take a tip from the Patriot: aim small, miss small. Let's make this thing really small. Let's build a goal setting and execution muscle that we can apply in other areas. The next thing we want to understand are what are our 3 pathways that we're going to use, 3 actions, strategy, 3 pathways that we're going to use to achieve the goal. Let's say that our goal in 2026 is to get in better shape. This is one of those ones that I've screwed around with for a while now. It's just been deprioritized year over year, but I think it's a really simple one that many of us have struggled with in one way, shape, or form. And here's how I would break it down into small pieces. And if you want, just send me a direct message and I'll give you access to the game plan coach that I've got, where I've built up a specific GPT to help you build these things out and work through sprints. So first thing, I wanted to understand the goal. The second thing are my 3 pathways. So when it comes to health and fitness, I have got a couple of different things. I can move. Those are the things I like to do probably most. I used to get a lot of energy out of working out. These days I want to play golf more than work out. I prioritize that over the other thing. But I need to work on getting back in the gym. I can move. I can get in steps. I can do that kind of work. The next thing I can do is I can fuel. I can eat. I can determine what kind of food do I want to take in. How do I want to nourish my body? The third one that I can do is recover. So if those are my 3 pathways, move, fuel, and recover, now I've got 3 things that if I only do one of those really, 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 really well, I'll be on the path to achieving my goal. Now, I understand there's balance here. As you get older, like I am, I just turned 51 a couple of months ago. What I find is it's not just the movement, it's the fuel and the recovery. Those are my 2 biggest weaknesses. So if I was to prioritize this, I'd prioritize recovery, number 1, fuel, number 2, movement, number 3. Those are my 3 priorities. So I want to prioritize the strategy that I'm going to apply to this thing. So I've got a goal, SMART goals. I've got 3 strategies, 3 actions that I can take to achieve the goal. And now I build out my specific tactics. So from a recovery perspective, I want to make sure that I get 7.5 hours of sleep per night. Now, here's the challenge with this. Right now, I'm averaging 6 hours and 13 minutes. That is up 3 minutes from previous. So that's good. I'm moving in the right direction. I want to get 7.5 hours of sleep per night. The second thing I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm adding in some rest days in here. And then the third thing I want to do is make sure that when I go to bed, I actually follow a routine to help me kind of wind down and get into a lower resting heart rate, higher heart rate variability. And I can track that on my ring. So 7 hours of sleep per night. I want to have rest days built into my program, and I wanted to have a routine that's going to help me actually get better sleep. Routine. Okay. That's on the recovery side. On the fuel side, let's break that down. So fuel, my second priority, fuel. So I've messed around with some intermittent fasting in the past, and it hasn't done the thing that I want to do. So I'm not going to do that anymore. I am going to go with a more restrictive diet. I'm actually going to start with carnivore. And once I get through some of the speaking stuff that I'm doing right now, I'm pushing this off a little bit. I'm going to start carnivore, and that's going to be daily. So I'm going to use some restriction to help me on the fuel side of things. The next thing I'm going to do is I am going to do some fasts during the week, where I take a day and do a 24-hour fast once a week. So one 24-hour fast per week. I'm going to move to carnivore, one 24-hour fast per week, and I'm going to do what I can to get in a gallon of water per day. 1 gallon of H2O per day. And see what that does. So carnivore, 24-hour fast per week, 1 gallon of water per day, 7.5 hours of sleep, make sure I'm adding in rest days, and make sure I have a routine to help me go through it. On the movement side, that one's a little bit easier for me. It kind of comes, I spent some time as a personal trainer way back in the day. On that side, my movement pieces, I'm going to move to 12,000 steps per day. I want to hit 700 intensity minutes per week. I measure that through my Garmin. And I want to make sure that I'm lifting heavy, moving a lot of weight around 5x per week. Okay, so those are my 3 kind of tactical. So we did strategy, now we've got tactics laid out. I've got a goal, I've got the strategy laid out, I've got the tactics laid out. Now what I need to do is actually build out my plan that I can execute. So I've laid this all out. What does my checklist look like? And if you sign up and be a member of the Leader Lab, which is the paid version of findmycatalyst.com, I'll give you a daily planner where you can go through and build these things out. You've seen images of this that I've shared. I'll give you a well-produced one that you can load up on something like a Remarkable Pro as an example. So I want to build out my day. What does the day look like? Number 1, morning routine. First thing that I want to do is make sure that right when I wake up, I have 16 ounces of water. This is going to be a daily checklist. 16 ounces of water, that's how I'm going to start the day. I'm going to move quickly into coffee, which is typically where I go next. I'm going to move right from there into lifting 5 days a week. I'm going to get those lifts in, whether it's following Dan John's armor building formula or if it's going to be easy strength. I'm still not sure on that, but 16 ounces of water, coffee, lifting. The next piece that I'm going to do is right after I lift, I'm going to go for a walk. Okay, here's the problem. If I have calls that start at 5:30 in the morning, I have to get up pretty early to be able to get all of that stuff done. So my target time period to wake up is going to be 4:45. 4:45 in the morning. So 4:45 wake up, 16 ounces of water, get some coffee, lift, go on the walk. That's the first part of the day. I get my daily move thing checked. And that's going to make more sense when I start talking about building out your pirate mat, those 5 to 7 moves that you have to do every day. 4:45 wake up. Next thing I want to do, in order to get 7.5 hours of sleep, 7.5 hours of sleep backed off of 4:45, I have to go to sleep really by about 9 o'clock every night. I have to go to sleep by 9 o'clock every night and fall asleep pretty quickly. That means I've got, at the end of the day, we'll call it right down here, 2100, sleep. So I've got this area in the margins where I'm able to get the work done. I'm going to be able to pay attention to what I'm doing from a food perspective. I'm going to get all the other stuff that I need to get done. Let's lay out those major checkpoints. So number 1, at the end of the day, did I or did I not hit my carnivore objective? Or did I or did I not hit my fasting objective? Those are either going to be filled out or not filled out. Again, daily checklist. Did I or did I not hit my 12,000 steps? We start the day off strong. We then hold ourselves accountable to hitting each of the other items. And then the last piece, did I or did I not get to sleep by 2100? If I hit on all those things, now I've got a pretty clear path relative to the focus of getting in shape. Now, what you'll notice is there's a lot of pieces in the margins that are kind of missing here, and that's a lot of check boxes just for this, but it's a main goal of mine. It's an important goal of mine that I've had out there for a bit, and I've had many false starts with it. I'm in decent shape. I'm not in the kind of shape that I want to be in, but that's how I would lay it out relative to building my 2026 plan specifically for the personal goal of getting in shape. Right? I understand what the specific goal is. It's 195 pounds, less than 195 pounds, less than 14% body fat. That's where I want to be. That's specific. It's measurable. I want to be able to do it. I'm going to see what I can do to get it done before the end of this year, but let's say by the end of March. By March 31st, I want to be at that weight. So now it's specific, measurable, it's actionable, it's relevant, and it's time bound. So we applied SMART goals to thinking about this. We built out our game plan, goal set goals, actions, metrics, ultimately our checklist, build out our daily plan. Now we go out there and execute our daily plan. Now here's the other thing that I want to suggest that you do. Be really, really careful about giving up too early. So here's how I work through the giving up too early. Number one, get your daily checklist out. Reward yourself for making it through the day, whatever way that is that you want to reward yourself. You can reward yourself however you want. Whatever that thing is, give yourself some kind of a reward for hitting the mark. Don't bullshit yourself. Hit the marks. Share your checklist with me. Take a picture of it. Put it in the comments on some of these posts. I'd love to see what you're doing there. Share that checklist. Let's see that you have been successful at the end of the day, and then reward yourself for actually doing it. Now, here's the thing. Give yourself at least 2 weeks to work through that daily checklist. Go through it for a 2-week sprint. If you do it for 2 weeks and at the end of the 2 weeks, you've not made any progress toward your goal, I want you to go back through and make sure that you actually did what you said you were going to do. Did you squint a little bit and kind of give yourself a check mark when you didn't really earn it? If so, you're not really doing the work. You got to get out there and keep doing the work. If you did everything and you still aren't making progress toward your goal, what I would suggest that you do is go another 2-week sprint. 2-week sprints in a row. If after 2-week sprints in a row of hitting each of these marks, and you've actually hit on every one of them every day, and you're not making progress, then it's time to go ahead and revisit some of these things. We got to figure out, maybe carnivore isn't the thing for you. Maybe intermittent fasting is the thing for you. Maybe instead of the 7.5 hours of sleep, what you need to really get is 8 hours of sleep. Maybe it's a different kind of workout. Maybe, but at least give yourself 2-week sprints before you start adjusting. If you think about it, a quarterly goal, 90 days, is actually broken out into 6 2-week sprints. It's 12 weeks. I firmly believe you can accomplish anything you want to in that 12-week period. You can make amazing change happen. The big issue is prioritizing it over some other things. Right now, the primary thing that we're focused on over the course of the last couple of months has been the rebrand, building out the speaking side of the business, and helping onboard some folks relative to different roles that they're taking on in different parts of the business and some of the other businesses I operate in. So those have been my priorities. I've deprioritized the health. Now, as we finish this year strong, I have to reprioritize the health. Let's see where I am on December 31st. If you know somebody who'd find this valuable, please share it with them. If you've got questions for me, let me know those directly. If you'd like to join the Leader Lab, check out findmycatalyst.com to find the information there. You can find your catalyst at findmycatalyst.com. Thanks.